I just want to hear the story, man.
So
from the beginning.
So from the beginning, I think
a little bit. SLS black, and look at that, dude. What if I accidentally clipped that engine? Life would be over.
Iron gone, house gone.
Wife gone, life over.
Beautiful day in Miami.
What a day.
Now Fort Lauderdale,
Oh,
after that drive.
I'm getting a nice little tan. Bathing in the sun on this beautiful morning. But today, we are at TR3 Performance, Miami's premier Lambo race shop. Arthur's gonna give us a tour of the shop. Look at these beautiful automobiles, man. This is unreal. Did you ever think we'd be hanging around these type of cars every day?
No, we're not cool enough for that.
No, I know.
We need to go back to the Corolla.
So before we walk into TR3, these guys, they've raced Ferrari Challenge, Super Trofeo, GT3. These guys are the it guys in South Florida for racing. And if you have the funds, you want to do your own race thing, maybe you want to go from being a guy like me to being like Chris Harris on the track, these guys will make you into that guy. But you know, I was really interested, how the hell does someone go from not being in this race game at all to owning one of the biggest teams in Florida and racing professionally across so many series? So I felt like I had to ask him.
I just want to hear the story, man.
So
from the beginning.
So from the beginning, everything happened in summer of 2012, where we had been through the years, enjoyed driving our street cars on the track down at Homestead, Sebring, Palm Beach, and we got to a point in our driving that we would really push the street cars to their limit, and so we started talking to a shop in South Florida that we wanted to build 3 Mazda Miata race cars so that we could eventually go out and race the cars, drive them on the track, and have fun as a weekend hobby. So we agreed, with the shop to get the cars done, and my family's from Italy. We were born here, but we go back to Italy often to see family and friends and to work over there as well with racing. When we left for Italy, we came back, and the time and the budget that it was supposed to be to build 3 cars is what it took to build 1 car. So we obviously figured out the guys that were taking advantage of us, and we said, we became friends with one of the techs that was working there. We said, why don't we try doing this on our own? We'll rent a bay, put a lift in there, start working on our cars. So we're building the spec Miatas, and we had friends coming in with their street cars. We had our street cars that we would do like wheels, suspension, a little bit of tuning, and then it really became TR3, and we started working. We found other people to work with us, we found other techs. Say around 2014, we had an opportunity to start racing in a series category, which is called Ferrari Challenge. Greg went, it was Austin, Texas, Coda, and we ended up actually the first race, we finished second, and in his category, which at the time there were 2 categories, but I think he was like 4th or 5th overall. And then the second day he finished first, and he was 2nd overall. So you can imagine the excitement.
You go from building Miatas to running a challenge car.
We actually started more so running as like a customer with another team.
Okay.
And kind of the same thing that happened with the performance side of things when we first started. We weren't really happy with how the team was being managed and being run. And most teams are outsourced to private race teams that run under the dealership name and banner, but it's actually a private team running it. And that's exactly what we wanted to do. We wanted to use TR3 to run our cars in challenge and use our techs.
And the driver is Greg that whole time.
So the driver is Greg. I actually joined him a year and a half later, and so I did a little bit of challenge myself.
Hanging out with you makes me not want to take my car off.
That's
it just feels like it's not even close. So let's say I went out and bought like a 430 challenge car, right? And I brought it to you. You could prep it for the track, and then you could transport it for me.
Exactly.
And maybe we could just go around the track together and you could teach it.
And it's one of those things where obviously you're doing this for fun because no one's writing you a check at the end of the day. And the way we see it and why we exist is because we've seen that a lot of the customers want to just arrive to the track, car's ready to go, they put on their race suit, they put on their shoes, their helmet, their gloves, they get in the car, they drive, they have fun, and then they drive back home and they don't need to worry about anything. It's like, having to prepare your own party. A lot of people don't like to do that. You'd rather have a party set up for you, or you have a party planner or whatever, and that's kind of what we do.
Never have I felt so comfortable about someone driving my car.
I wouldn't say that yet.
Huh?
I wouldn't say that yet.
Not yet?
Not yet.
Oh shit.
Shift gears, it feels like someone's throwing a rock at the car. That's so loud.
Whoever made this is in the head, I'm telling you. He knows how to drive. Thoughts?
I need to let it sink in first. I really need to let it sink in because this thing is insane.
That was good anyway. Question, is it better than the STL?
Different. Very different.
On the road though. What do you think is better? Because I've never driven one of those.
This is more fun to drive.
This is more fun to drive? There's a big difference between me driving this car and him driving this car. Woo!
Yo. Is that?
This is the Huracan GT3.
Gotcha.
Actually, the horsepower on this one is less than the Super Trofeo because they detuned the engine. They put restrictors on the intakes because of it, with GT3 racing, since all the cars are different, you have Porsches, Ferraris, McLaren all racing against each other. Obviously, they're all different cars. So what they decided to do was they have the sanctioning body will go and they put what's called the BOP, balance of performance, on all the cars. And what that does is they either restrict the horsepower on natural aspirated engines with restrictors on the intakes, or on turbocharged cars, they'll reduce the boost. And then sometimes they'll also add and remove weight to the car. See this lovely little box here? Mm-hmm. This is actually the weight box, so they add and remove weight depending on what the balance of performance for the car is for that track. And it changes every track, every weekend will change.
And what's the difference between the GT3 and
the ST?
And the ST?
The GT3 has a lot more aero, the brakes are different on the car, has a lot more positioning for traction control and ABS.
Let's go look at the Super Trofeo.
But it has a lot less aero than that car.
Yo, this is crazy, bro.
I'm sure you can imagine it's nice and hot. I was thinking, I think the GT3 panels where most of the doors are carbon, but this is what it looks like.
Yo, feel how light that door is.
Wow.
So this is performance side. That was the racing side. This is where all the PGF gets done. It's not exposed to everything else, so this room stays extremely clean. We're able to spray down the car without having any problems of water getting all over the place.
This is the guy who got the color I wanted. And Selection said no, they wouldn't order it for me. I had the same idea. I wanted to copy the F1.
Yeah.
Same brown interior and same
Yeah.
paint. Look at the blue carbon.
Yeah, this thing's got a neat weave on it. Between the weave and the coloring,
That body kit wasn't cheap.
new engine going in this guy. This guy had a Novitec exhaust system, springs, and tune.
Oh, you're doing the Novitec on here. Yeah, because the Novitec on this, our friend Adrian has it, and it goes into limp mode when you get on it too much.
Yeah?
Yeah, his does, and he's got the tune and everything. What if we took that body kit and threw it on Huracan? For those of you that haven't seen a Super Trofeo car, look at the front of that thing.
Evo 2.
This is an Evo 2?
Evo 2.
We had Evo 1 and this is Evo 2. So this just came out a couple months ago.
Do you think the new Huracan's gonna look like this? Yeah, you have a sneaky suspicion. Can you imagine driving that around? Wow. Yeah, they're on.
Oh my god. Okay, those headlights are 10x.
Right?
Arthur, bro, thank you.
Thank you, man.
TR3 Performance and Racing. Is it two different companies or the same one?
But one house.
One house, two companies. These guys are awesome. Come visit. They're down here in South Florida. And if you guys want to go race cars really fast, I'm going to be doing it with him at some point in the near future. PPF, wheels, exhaust installations, or you just want to hang out with some really cool dudes, come visit these guys. Besides that, go down below, give me a subscribe, give me a thumbs up, comment down below if you want to see us take one of those Super Trofeo cars and do donuts right here in the parking lot. Yeah, well, we're definitely going to do that. Thank you, brother. Thank you for everything. Anyways, guys,
Pleasure.
love you. Take care.